This is the worst it could have done. Look at that. It's literally slapped me around the face with that. It's a damage set. I don't really want the resistance rolls. I'll be honest with you, game. We don't really want the resistance rolls. Hey guys, this is Hell Hades, free to play. We're back on the free to play account. We're going to be doing a video. Oh man, it's going to be so boring. If you can watch it till the end, congratulations. You're a better person than me. We're going to do a gear cleanse. I'm going to do a gear cleanse on the free to play. So I feel like it's more relevant to most players that are going to be watching this type of video. It's about understanding the types of roles you're looking for different gear sets. It's about understanding whether you should roll an item at all. It's about understanding what different gear sets can give your team and then deciding whether you're going to actually push some of that juicy silver into it. Oh, I suggest you get yourself a cup of tea. It might be a long one, but let's get into it. So I'm actually going to go through set by set, which is why it will probably be a long video. So life set, even at this very early stage of the game, I'm at like day 63 here. Life set is basically awful. It's one of the worst sets in the game. You don't want to be pushing this set. Even for HP-based champions, it's not good. Which means that you want kind of godlike pieces for it to be kept. So basically what I'm looking for on a life set are either like high star rating with good substats. And by good substats, I'm talking about speed, pretty much on anything. You might find a damage piece where you're looking for speed, crit rate, crit damage. And it will just be like a filler set. Not specifically because it's life set. That's kind of the same with any set in the game, by the way. If you've got speed, crit rate, crit damage, maybe attack percent in the mix as well, and they're a high star rating. And the star rating is important because that's what tells you how high the base rolls can go. So not just the main stat. I'm thinking here like the substats just roll higher if you've got a high star rating piece. So this piece here could roll well. That could roll a lot of crit rate and speed for me. But basically, if it's not 6-star and very strong, it's going to go because I just don't really have a use for this set beyond that. When we're talking about gloves, I'm looking for crit rate gloves. I'm looking for crit damage gloves. Maybe some HP percent, some defense percent as a main stat. And then I want stats which complement whatever main stat that is. So if it's crit damage, I want crit rate as a sub-stat. I want some speed to go alongside it. And then I want stats which kind of make sense for the set that I'm running as well. So, you know, things like this here. I've got two good substats, crit rate and accuracy, with an attack percent chest. I don't care that it's life. I just want to see if I can roll some extra crit rate and accuracy onto that piece. Flat attack is useless here because it's just a set that I don't care about. Flat attack with these sort of substats in other better sets might be useful later down the line. We can see we're clearing out most of this. Flat defense on boots, no. Pretty much on my free-to-play and my main account, to be fair, speed is king. Yeah, speed is king. So speed, main stat on boots, really should be on 99% of your champions, especially if you're early to mid-game. If you're late game, there's a lot more exceptions where you can build speed up with the quality of gear that you've got. So that's a bit of a difference. But if they're not speed on the main stat here for my free-to-play, it's basically not good enough. So you can see already 13 pieces gone out of what? I don't know how many pieces are here. 12, 16. Like, the majority. The majority are gone in a set like this. So we're going to roll stuff up. Now, I've said on the free-to-play, I'm playing it like I'm a mobile player, so I'm not going to use any speed-ups. But for a video like this, I have got to use my speed-ups. So blue stacks, which I'm using here. Let me just make this a bit bigger so you can see. Blue stacks here, you actually have the ability to change with eco mode the FPS. So if I click eco mode on, I can actually change my FPS down to 10. Yeah, and then you watch the difference in a gear roll now when I've got 10 FPS versus if I'm running on normal raid mode. See how much faster it's rolling for me? Yeah, so this is what people on a PC benefit from, honestly. And it's a shame that there is ways of doing it on the mobile, but it's all a bit glitchy. But it's just such a better quality of life. So I'm going to use this whenever I'm rolling gear for this video. What I'm looking for then is extra speed rolls and extra crit rolls. Attack would be, it's an okay stat, but really to keep an offset piece like this, I want to be punching speed, and I want to be punching more crit rate. That's what I want this piece for. Actually, it's double rolled speed, so I would take it up to 12. And basically, this is now going to be a keeper, and I can either use it as a faction war piece, or, I mean, honestly, rolling 19 speed, there's a fair chance this becomes a piece for, like, an actual speed champion for me. 19 speed, a triple roll on a 5-star piece is pretty damn sexy. So that's rolled really nicely. And you notice what I did there? I rolled it up to level 8, and it might be actually on a piece like this where resistance is something I don't particularly want. You just take it up to 4 first and make sure that it rolls one of the 2 substats you want, especially on an offset piece like this. So that one straight up becomes a sell because it hasn't rolled any of the substats I wanted, and I'm not going to invest more silver, especially on a free-to-play where, you know, my silver is very precious to me. Now this piece, honestly, attack percent, I'm looking for crit rate. It's not even really a good piece. It's an okay piece. For my account right now on the free-to-play, I don't have many 5-star attack percent chests, which is why I'm rolling it. But generally, it's probably a goner for most accounts. Crit rate, though, and accuracy are good substats. So this will definitely be used from somebody in Faction Wars. I'm also doing this, by the way, during an artifact event. So I'm gaining benefit for using my silver up. It's rolled in there. Now, that's not really a great last roll. But if we get this level 16 away here at some point in the future and I get speed or crit damage, then this becomes a good attack percent chest. And it will be used on the account. So it becomes a reasonable piece. Okay, then on to an offense set. Now, offense set, very early game is okay. You gain some extra attack. But very quickly, it gets outdated. Cruel gear straight up better by a lot. By a lot. It's the same thing, but you ignore defense. Ignoring defense is extremely strong in this game. So again, offense set has got to be extremely good to keep it. And you'll see here. So I'm absolutely looking for crit rates. I'm looking for crit damage. I'm looking for attack percent. It's an attack percent piece. And I want speed. They're like my 4 main ones, really. You might get some accuracy in the mix as well. But really, they're the main ones I want to go for. If it's not got crit rate on it, I don't really want it. Because ideally, if I'm building someone for damage, I want them to have crit damage gloves as the main stat. Which means that I need to build crit rate throughout the rest of my gear. Throughout the rest of, especially the top row, like the helms, the weapons, the shields. So if I'm not seeing crit rate on these pieces, honestly, it's not good enough, even at this stage of my account. So you can see here, very quickly, we're getting rid of all of this gear. Flat HP gloves with bad substats is just going to go. Now, there is something to say with Chaos Ore now in the game, not in this set, but in strong sets with Chaos Ore in the game, there's an argument to be held for you would roll pieces and see if you just land triple rolls and then try your luck with Chaos Ore. I am dropping a Chaos Ore video soon so you can see about that. But, you know, it can be a shocking area. If you've invested silver in something, is it going to be good enough for a Faction War champion? That's something you've got to ask yourself because, you know, early game, especially early to mid game, you just want to put 6 items on anyone that's running Faction Wars for you. HP percent chest in this set. It's got to have at least speed as a substat, and I want crit rate as well. So there you go. Out of 17 pieces, we've sold all 17. On to defense gear. Now, defense gear is fairly unique in that there's not very many places, especially early game, that you can increase defense through gear. When you get a bit later on, you can get some resilience gear, which gives you defense and HP together. It's probably just straight up better than defense gear. But defense gear, if you're really trying to push a defense number, can be okay. Think about it. Defense gear, you're trying to build someone tanky. You want stats like, you still want speed, but speed, HP percent, defense percent. You might want resistance in there as well. A lot of those kind of tank type builds may still want accuracy to do their job, and actually might want crit rate. So you've got 6 substats out of the bunch that could be useful to you here. So if I'm not seeing a good combination of those 6 and a high star rating, again, for my account, it's just going to go. HP percent with defense percent could be good. Maybe. As a tank build. 4-star gear, generally just not going to be that worthwhile for me in an offset like this. Defense percent main stat with crit damage and speed in defense gear could be a good one for me. HP percent main stat, again, it's not likely I'm gonna use this, but maybe down the line it could be useful. And then this has still got to be speed, or maybe defense percent if you've got speed in substats. But honestly, that's got to go as well. So it leaves me with 2 pieces out of 10 that I've kept. Okay, on to one of the most important sets in the game then, certainly for the early to mid game, pushing towards late game. Speed set. Guess what substat you're looking for? Speed. Yeah, that's it. You want speed on speed gear. So I'm pretty much, again, I'm looking for higher star ratings. I'm looking for items with speed on it. If they don't have speed, I'm kind of considering the other substats. Are they good for like an off-piece set like this one was? And we take it up. If they do not have combinations of accuracy, crit rate, crit damage, HP percent, attack percent, speed, but predominantly speed, then like this piece here, it's a straight goner. The exception to this, honestly, is now that Chaos Ore is in the game. So speed set, on top row items, I'd say it's a reasonable choice to say, should I take something up to level 4, level 8, level 12, and see if I roll multiple rolls in the same stat. Like, if I roll triple resistance here, I could re-roll it with Chaos Ore and pray to the RNGesus gods that I roll speed. But with the silver flow that I've got on my free-to-play right now, that's not an option for me, okay? So on my main account, that is an option, and I would do it for sure. Even if I've been playing the game for like 150 days plus and I've got a bit of a silver income, it's definitely an option. But less than like 70 days and I don't really have the silver income, I can't afford to waste silver in that way. So you see here, I'm just going through. We've got one speed piece here, one piece I've kept anyway. Straight accuracy here. It's like, I don't want to sell all my speed gear off because I'm going to need some kind of item. So, you know, an accuracy roll is not bad. Even on 4-star, I'll keep speed and look, see if I can get double rolls on it at this stage. 3 stars a bit low, honestly, to be doing that with. Maybe an accuracy roll there could be okay. But most gear you'll see starts to get wiped away. Crit rate's actually not a bad one for me at this stage of my account in a 5-star piece. I'm guaranteed that's going to be at least 10%, but could be 11% crit rate there. I might need that somewhere down the line. Just defensive stats. Accuracy, I've got more of it already, so I don't really need that. And you see how quickly we're kind of flushing out our gear. This could be really nice for like a Cold Heart build or, you know, a damage dealing champion. So that's definitely a keeper. The extra speed bonus you get in a 12% is just useful. This was an early piece that I rolled up. Not going to get rid of it because it will sit on somebody for Faction Wars. Again, defense percent, HP percent, kind of mediocre at best. We get on to anything bottom row now. Now, gloves and chests, if it's got speed on it, even if it's got a crappy main stat, it's a keeper. This piece here, even with flat defense, is not bad. So I could get, it's not bad for a Faction War champion on a bottom row, but am I going to use it? Probably not. Crit damage here. If I had way more gear, this is just a straight up bad piece because it's got bad substat rolls. I'm looking for crit rate to go alongside it. Again, am I likely to use it? Probably not. With the level of gear that I've got, if this was crit rate with bad substats, it's more usable for me. But crit damage, it's unlikely I'm going to find the other crit rate that I need for the rest of my gear at the moment. So it's just straight up bad. Flat defense, no speed. So I've really not managed to gather very much speed gear at all. Flat attack with crit rate, crit damage, like they're just fairly weak pieces. A defensive piece with another defensive stat like HP percent at this stage of my account could actually be pretty damn useful. Crit rate here, definitely a Faction War piece. You know, any crit rate gloves, honestly, 4-star and up, early game, will go on a Faction War champion. And I'm probably just about at the stage now where I get rid of anything without substats on it. And then we're on to chests. Again, we're looking for speed substat, beautiful. I don't even care that it's resistance because this might be the fastest piece for my account, which will help me in arena. So resistance can be useful in places, but I'm looking to see if we multi-roll speed. HP percent, I just don't have many. So HP percent chests, defense percent chests, attack percent chests are just keepers in speed set anyway. Useless, useless. Keeper because of the main stat. Gone. Attack percent with crit rate's kind of like the dream. I'd prefer it if it was 5 or 6 star, honestly, but that's definitely a keeper for this account. We get onto boots. Again, basically, we're looking for speed main stat. There are exceptions where I would take attack percent, defense percent, or HP percent if we've got some good substats to go alongside it. You really kind of want to see, because it's going to be for either a tank or a damage dealer, you want stats that go alongside it. So defense percent, I want to see speed and HP percent alongside it. If it was attack percent, I want to see crit rate, crit damage alongside it to keep it. Useless. So defense percent, speed and HP percent. I just literally called that out. This is nice for a future build, potentially. But only start doing those type of builds when you're already hitting at least 170 speed. So there you go. We're selling 37 of our main set here, keeping what? 17. So out of 54 pieces, I'm selling 37. Okay, then back to some rolls. So we're looking for speed. That is what we're looking for here. Crit damage is not bad. Speed is where it's at. I guess I rolled to 8 here because even rolling resistance, this is not a terrible piece at the moment. I really want to see double roll speed, though. That's kind of the dream. It's not rolled speed at all. I probably just keep it as it is now, and it goes on someone for Faction Wars. The value of this piece just plummeted as we rolled it. So that's a sad, sad tale. But it's still a keeper. It's just not great anymore. This one, we would probably just want to see if we roll some accuracy in here. Straight up, looking at this piece, it's like Perception Gear just trumps it, really, because Perception gives you speed and accuracy together. Probably on most accounts, that's just a straight sell before you even get to it. This one, we're just looking for double roll speed as a level 4 piece. If it doesn't straight roll speed, it's a goner, or it's a Faction War champion piece. We get the speed roll, so now we're looking to see if we get a double. It's rolled speed and accuracy, which is needed for a lot of champions. Any of your debuffers want those two stats together, so it's just a keeper. We'll kind of use it at least as filler. There's not much really that can roll here that's going to be value for me right now, so I'm not going to roll it. That one I know is going to roll my crit rate. This one, we're looking to see if we can get rolls of crit rate, basically, and it might help me rebuild someone like my Gaelic for damage. We've got crit rate and accuracy together. They're both nice stats. Think about my Seer build. That's exactly what I'm looking for in her build. So another crit rate would be beautiful here. It can't really bad roll, so you're not ever going to waste silver. But that becomes a nice piece. That's definitely going to be used long-term on my account. If I rolled this to 16, I'd hope to see a speed roll or an attack percent roll, something along those lines coming in late. Let's look at a chest. So we had a speed piece here. We're looking to see if we get more speed alongside it. We didn't. So now this is on the edge. This is on the edge of terrible because the main stat is not good for most content in the game. It's double rolled flat defense. It just kind of sits there as a piece now that might go on a champion in the future, but unlikely. It probably will be sold without ever being used. Right, onto crit rate then. So crit rate is basically a filler set. Yeah, so it just gives you that bonus crit rate that you need to just top up your builds. So again, crit rate is a damage dealing set. I want to see crit damage alongside it. I want to see more crit rate in the substats, and I want to see speed. Maybe attack percent alongside that. If I'm not seeing combinations of those stats, it's gone. So speed, crit damage, and accuracy, actually a nice piece. This was just an early game piece, which is now going to go. Speed needs crit rate and crit damage. I'm not fussed. Crit rate, but on an HP percent chest, gloves could be good. Gone. Bad main stat. Basically, want to see speed here or attack percent. I've got a speed set, which might be useful for Faction Wars. And probably at this stage, don't need those anymore. So selling 5 out of 9. So we're just going to roll up this piece here. I'm really looking for it to land in crit damage or speed for this to add value. Don't forget it's a damage dealing set. Speed helps me move fast, get my damage away. Crit damage just boosts the damage we're going to do with this extra crit rate. It's rolled well. And again, this can go on either a filler set for somebody or just to kind of boost that crit rate number. Certainly early game, you quite often will need a bit of extra crit rate to crit cap. You notice with my builds right now, I'm not crit capped on anyone. Pretty much anyone, which is terrible. So you do want to do that. Not a bad piece. On to crit damage then. Crit damage is similar to crit rate. It's a damage dealing set. I want to see crit rate, crit damage, exactly the same as we've just said. Yeah, I want to see those damaging sets. If it doesn't have crit in the mix, then it's no value to me. Other people might disagree. For me, I want to see crit in the mix because the set is actually not that strong. Yeah, it's okay. It's overrated as a set, I would say. So I really want to see crit rate and speed and crit damage. That's actually an okay one. On the gloves, I want to see that good main stat, the juicy crit damage or crit rate. So on the chest, I want to see my attack percent, defense percent, HP percent with crit rate, crit damage. So here you go, defense percent, crit rate and accuracy. This could be really good for a defensive nuker where I'm trying to get crit damage away. Crit damage, but with no crit rate, with some speed, it's not quite good enough. Sorry, defense percent, not quite good enough. HP percent with crit rate could be useful. Nothing there, nothing there. Attack percent, speed, crit rate could be very useful in the future, and that's a goner. So what we're down to here, 17 out of 21. So again, doing the rolls, we're looking for this to roll crit rate. It's a crit damage set. We want it to build crit damage through its set bonus. We want it to build crit rate through its rolling. And this could actually be a really nice piece. If we get another crit rate roll here, then as long as it doesn't roll this middle one, I'm happy. Either way. Yeah, beautiful. So double crit rate with some speed. We would look there for a final stat of crit damage or attack percent, defense percent, anything which is going to boost the damage of somebody that wears this piece. That becomes pretty damn solid. This one here, we're looking for crit rate. Yeah, it's going to be a keeper either way because, you know, defense percent nuker you're going to need, but double crit rate would be beautiful and would encourage me to just go to level 12 with it and just see what juicy thing we can get next. We want to see crit damage or speed. They're the two really, or maybe HP percent. Flat defense, interestingly, I mean, it boosts the damage of this piece a smidge, but it's not really what I wanted to see at this stage of an account. It's okay, though. HP percent is, I mean, this one, honestly, the chance of me using it is pretty slim, even if I got a double roll of crit rate. So I'm going to get rid of that one. Attack percent, this is a nice set of boots for a nuker. If you can get speed into other pieces of your gear. I really want to see crit rate, though, not speed. If I wanted speed, I would be using speed boots. Okay? So I want to see... Yeah, so... It's an interesting one. I mean, 15 speed, but you're going to gain 50% attack percent. It's okay, actually. It's actually okay. I would still take it to 12. It still might be usable for, you know, like an arena nuker down the line. I wanted to see something better here, though, like crit damage. But it's still definitely a keeper. So we ended up keeping 3 out of 3 out of 21. Accuracy gear, really good gear to boost your accuracy. And accuracy is like the lifeblood of a champion. You need to land abilities for them to do their job. It's very important. People just don't understand how important it is. So I'm looking really for speed and accuracy together. Speed and accuracy are the two main stats here because these champions aren't necessarily your damage dealers. They're champions that are trying to land abilities for you. So let's just filter through. Accuracy here, yes please. No speed, no accuracy, it's a goner. I got some speed there, but on a 4-star. The cool thing about accuracy set is the star rating doesn't matter as much because you still get your plus 40 accuracy when you pair a set up. So early to mid game, it's still just good, but perception gear is just straight up better. Yeah, from the forge, straight up better than this. So it's got to be reasonable to keep it, and then we want to roll in the stats that we want. Don't really want damage stats here on a 4-star piece. Speed, 6-star piece with speed on it. I like it. Now this is an interesting one because early game, 6-star with accuracy, it could end up rolling triple roll accuracy and give me like 40 extra accuracy. That's huge, by the way. So this is an example where flat stat, main stat could be useful on a set like this, especially early game. Now, accuracy chests on an accuracy set, guess what? That's nice, especially if you've got speed as substats alongside it. So we keep that. Attack percent, not great. Accuracy, again, I would really want to see speed alongside it on a rare piece because I've already lost 2 rolls in something which isn't going to make much sense, but it's definitely still a keeper for this account at the moment. Defense percent, I really want to see speed on accuracy boots because the accuracy person generally is going to want to go fast. Speed here, even without, if it's got accuracy as like a substat, that is like the dream. On all of these, we're just looking to see if it rolls into accuracy. We just want it to roll more. What do we want the set for? We want the set to land stuff. So as long as we're getting rolls in accuracy, we're happy with that. Yeah, and then if it's got like an okay amount, like an 18, then we roll to see if we get some speed alongside it in that 12th, in the level 12 piece. And you're like that. Praise the Lord! We've managed to pull out a piece that's actually going to be useful for this account. And we do the same, going through each one. If this rolls crit damage to start with, on a 6-star, I probably would still take this up to level 8 because I don't have many 6-star pieces. And, you know, we can get some high rolls straight up. So, double roll crit damage. It's just lost a lot of its value to me. I'll still keep it for now so I don't have a lot. And it is a 6-star piece, so it can roll higher rolls of things like speed in the subsequent stats. But this piece already, even though it's 5-star and the second substat is worse, it's already better than that 6-star piece that I just rolled to level 8. Now it's significantly better. 30 accuracy plus the joint accuracy bonus of plus 40. You're getting really close to your accuracy numbers like in 2 pieces. That's how big it is. So again, this one we take to 12. This rolls speed in here as well. We'll say an hallelujah and we'll move on. We get HP percent. But still, it's an okay piece. Like, that's a good amount of accuracy to have. This one's going the other way. So where we haven't landed any speed in that piece there, it might be like, well, we need speed. We will need it. So we hope that we land speed here. We don't. And again, the value of it's dropped a lot for me because you would then want to hope for accuracy in that main spot coming through there. These gloves. Now, these gloves are the anomaly because normally I wouldn't keep flat stack gloves, but it's got accuracy in an accuracy set. You don't necessarily need your debuffers to be super tanks. You need them to do their job. So, you know, this is okay. Just got a bit better. I wouldn't really take it to level 16. Like, I don't care about the extra rolls in the main stats so much. And it's lost a lot of value for me now because I wanted to see at least a double roll in accuracy. So this now sits there probably as a faction war piece. But hopefully you get the feel of it. I'm using these weak main stats, but trying to find the really strong substat for that particular set. Resistance set. What are we looking for? Yes. Resistance. Yeah. All we're looking to do is to pummel more resistance into the build. So ideally you want resistance and then probably defensive stats. If you're trying to build a resistance build, you probably want speed to keep moving and you want resistance to keep the resistance pumping up. And then you want defensive stats alongside it. So I'm not going to roll all this up because it's quite niche and quite Doom Tower-y or Hydra-esque. I just keep the stuff that's useful for now. You still get, like accuracy, you get the set bonus. So, you know, keeping just a few pieces together will help you anyway when you need those resistance builds. It's weird here because really with a chest, I want to see resistance as the main stat. If I'm trying to go for a resistance build, you know, just throwing on 40, 60, 80 resistance will do literally the same as having 0 resistance. Yeah, if you don't hit the resistance requirement, a bit like with accuracy, if you don't hit the requirement, it's like not having it. It's pointless to have. So you really want to be punching for a resistance chest. But I could potentially triple roll resistance here, and then you've got like an off-roll damage dealing resistance build. It's very unusual that that would be something you actually build. So all of these kind of trashy, really. I mean, speed and resistance together, but it's got to be a good main stat because this is quite an end game set that you would use. So honestly, I end up with 2 out of 9 that we would keep there. I'm not going to roll them for this. Lifesteal gear then. So Lifesteal for an early game account is huge. Yeah, it gets you through life. It gets you through clan boss fights. It gets you through dungeon crawling. Eventually you outscale Lifesteal. And that's like a dream moment when you don't need everybody in Lifesteal anymore. But you'll see my main champions are in Lifesteal. And, you know, if you've got full masteries, then Lifesteal gives you a lot of value because if you're using things like War Master, whenever that War Master proc goes in, you get a massive boost of health. So with Lifesteal, we're looking for quite rounded stats, actually. Speed for sure, accuracy for most champions, bit of crit rate, things like HP percent, defense percent, attack percent. They're like the main probably 6, I would say, that I'm looking for combinations of. And I want to see, you know, at least 2 of them for it to be a good piece. I don't want this flat stat, you rubbish stuff. Rubbish. I mean, you've got 2 okay substats, but I really want to see speed alongside it as well. Speed here, I would roll. You see here when I've kept HP percent, which is great. With speed, crit rate, it's actually a nice piece. Defense percent with some accuracy on it. Bottom row are harder to get the pieces you want, so you kind of keep less perfect gear. Accuracy chest in Lifesteal is kind of unusual. Maybe early game you might use it, but it's pretty unusual that you would need it. Useless, useless. Actually pretty good here. HP percent with speed on it and a couple of other good main stats. Same with this. And then in boots, again, really looking for those speed boots. 5-star, 6-star. Most of them I'm already wearing. So here you go. We've managed to keep 5 pieces out of 15. And then again, we're just rolling up. We're looking for those better stats to land again. Hopefully you're getting the idea of this now. I'm looking to see if we actually land speed or not. Come on, game. Keep up with me. Didn't land it. I mean, at a 4-star, without landing that speed roll, it just lacks a bit of value for me now already. 4-star gear, you know, those substats are weak compared to 5 or 6-star gear, which I'm starting to move towards now. So just means it's less value. I really want accuracy to land here. We landed 1, that's good. Defense percent chest is good for staying alive and stuff like clan boss and general build. So we will take that and hope for a speed roll in here. Speed or crit rate would be nice. Resistance is, you kind of ended up here with 2 pretty crap substats, 1 good substat, but on a good main stat. So it's still a keeper. Like you need those good main stats on things like chests. Interesting though, this is 4-star. HP percent, so it's slightly different, but it's got better kind of selection of substats that it could roll into. Again, I want to see speed, but I don't mind attack percent here, and I don't really mind crit damage either. It can't really bad roll, but you'd hope to see speed. So we've got Fury set. It's extremely niche. It basically has to be godlike for me to keep it, especially at this stage of the game. Fury, you do more damage as you lose health. So there's champions like Glorious, Skull Crown. There's things like unkillable teams where this can be good for clan boss, but generally it's not a great set. And you know, you're better off just building damage dealing sets like Cruel Gear or Savage Gear or, you know, that type of stuff. So this set is not brilliant, which means that I need to see epic or above, and I need to see, it's a damage set, so I want to see crit rate, crit damage, and attack percent, you know, all kind of grouped together. This is the only potential piece to keep out of the whole set for me because it's so niche. And yeah, I need to roll crit rate a couple of times pretty early on here. If it rolls like, I mean, so now what the interesting thing, because it's a legendary piece, it's now kind of looking at it like it's not just Fury gear for me now, it's actually general gear until Fury set becomes a thing. 10 speed, 11 accuracy, 10 crit rate, 10 defense. That's great on a Scylla the Drakes or a, you know, defensive based champion that needs some damage, some speed, some accuracy. Like it's actually a good piece generally. And then down the line, it might be used as a Fury set piece for me. So that's a keeper. The rest of this is gone, which means that we've managed to keep here on this not a lot. So day set is the worst form of CC that you can get. A sleep buff, sleep debuff is pretty weak. You kind of would only run days if you're running a load of single target hitters, because anyone else that hits someone that's dazed will just wake them up. So again, what we're looking for here, I've got 6-star epic pieces. I'm looking to see if it's just a generally good piece for things like speed, crit rate, crit damage, like damage pieces. I'm not thinking day set there. I'm just thinking, is it a good piece that can be used as a good stat builder? So this can be kept. Useless though. So, and then it's got to be, for it to be a day set, kind of want to be quick. Probably going to go on someone who does AoE damage on a day set or AoE hit. So probably want things like speed, crit rate, crit damage. Or you might have an AoE defensive champion. There's not many of them though, really. So the other thing you look at here is on stuff like bottom row, where it's hard to find good pieces, you're just looking for good main stat with good substats. I'm not thinking day set, thinking good piece. So crit rate with speed and accuracy is nice. 4-star gear, just straight up not good enough for a weird set like this. 5-star, again, speed boots with good defensive stats. That's a good piece and could be good for day set down the line. And then we're doing it here. We're rolling up the crit rate gloves because they're going to be a useful set of gloves for someone on my account. Just wanted to see what the other substats rolled as, but a nice juicy amount of accuracy there, 29, with a bit of speed and attack percent. They're just going to be generally good gloves for somebody on the account. Cursed gear, I'll be honest, I've never used cursed gear. The only use case I can even see is maybe for... certainly for Fire Knight, if you don't have someone that can put heal reduction on, fine. If you don't have someone that can put heal reduction on the Spirit Keep, yes, I guess so. And I'm wondering if there's somewhere like Magma Dragon, if you're putting HP burns out, but you put heal reduction on it as well, there's a slim use case. But honestly, for me, I just look at it and say, is it godlike gear? This actually is pretty damn good. 3 good substats, which all make sense to each other. That is not, that is not, that is not. If this was crit rate here, with attack percent with crit damage, then it's a keeper for a general piece. But they kind of need to be godlike pieces. So we sell 3 out of 4. And for this one, we can just roll up. We know this is a good piece, whatever it does. I kind of want to see crit rate rolls because it just enables those crit damage gloves. Remember, we've spoken about that before. But it's got to be godlike. Again, if it does one of these triple roll speeds, it might end up going with that weird life piece set that I found earlier for a speed booster. But generally, it's an okay piece. It's keeper on the account, and we might use it down the line. So Frost set is a defensive set. You only place a freeze when you are hit, not when you actually hit someone else. So this is a weird set. It's got to be on a tank. It needs to be on a tank with taunt. It's a very niche set. I would only keep pieces if they are godlike and if they have got things like accuracy. That person's got to land taunt. Yeah, so you need accuracy to do that. Or if they've got like godlike rolls of speed, defense percent, accuracy, all of these things that you need together to make this work. So there's not many pieces of Frost that I would use. And honestly, it's not a set that I would say, yes, put it on loads of people. There's not many situations where I would say it's worth using. So they've got to be very good pieces, or pieces that make a lot of sense. This could be okay for a general piece for someone in Faction Wars. That's a keeper. Frenzy gear, very niche set. Basically, you gain turn meter as you take damage. There's not many champions that this makes sense on. So again, we're looking for godlike pieces, or and it's in a generally it's not necessarily an offensive set. It's either someone who's done to set up your team, someone who's done to do something like a cleanse and then get your team moving again, or it's a damage dealer who you want to get into the game. So you can go for like 2 types of builds with it, but you need the substats to make some sense for those 2 builds. I'm only going to even consider keeping epic pieces that I could triple roll good stats on because it's just such a niche set for me. Regen set. Regen's moved up the rankings for me a ton in terms of how good it is. So if you've got people that are not yet level 60 without their masteries, then Regen set's one of the best ways to heal. So any of those support type units, any of those tanks, any of those people that you want to try and solo content with, Regen gear is the way to go. Your clan boss champions where Lifesteal gear doesn't do any healing because you don't do any damage, Regen set is the way to go. On this then, so because it is healing you by percentage of your health every turn, you want high health. Because you need to have a turn to make this work, you need high speed. So basically, HP percent and speed are the 2 king stats for me in this set. Other stats just are relevant to whatever build you're doing. So if you're still trying to do a bit of damage, crit rate is helpful. If you're trying to land abilities, accuracy is helpful. Yeah, but it's basically speed and HP percent together are what I'm looking for. Accuracy here could be useful as like a builder piece for this kind of main stuff. Anything with speed I'm going to keep because it's actually a really great set. Like I would put plenty of faction war people in this set if I could. So I want to keep multiple options for this set. For things like gloves, chests, you want HP percent predominantly because you heal from your health. Yeah, so HP is where it's at. Again, just with speed for this early game account, I will keep it even with that flat stat defense. Not finding many pieces here that are worthwhile. Flat HP, but with no speed on it. I mean, maybe for very like faction war focused people for now. HP with some speed, again, same sort of thing. Most of it's going to go though. And then I can't really think of an example, maybe other than a Eurost solo in Scarab boss, where speed isn't king here, because you need to rotate through your abilities. Yeah, so you want speed as your main stat. There are some examples where you'd say if you've got enough speed elsewhere, you go HP percent main stat, because you'll be healing for more each turn. So what we lost there, 16 gone. We managed to keep hold of 9. Onto immunity gears then. So immunity is actually a really versatile set. It's generally arena focused. So you're looking for either speed champions that will land stuff. So people like Madame in an immunity set, she wants to be fast, but she also needs accuracy to land her things. You're immune to debuffs for a while, so you know, you don't really want to worry about things like resistance, albeit this can be cleansed off, but I wouldn't go that way. The other option is it's for a damage dealer that you want to be immune to debuffs. So if you've got someone like a Foley, you want to get their damage away. That time you want things like speed, crit rate, crit damage, so and attack percent. So it can be one of two types of builds. If I've got a legendary piece with a speed roll, I just keep it because I want them to be quick. I want particular builds to be quick. Immunity set becomes a bit more of an end game arena build, honestly. So early game, like I am now, is fairly unusable. Not unusable, but it's kind of niche to use it. Crit rate of accuracy is okay for this account for now. Speed with defensive stats, yes please. Someone like an Arbiter, you might have an immunity Arbiter where you just want her to be as quick as possible. In that instance, you're just looking for, you know, multiple rolls of speed. So even if you had a pair of gloves here with flat stat roll, if it's got speed on it and it's epic, you would actually keep those gloves and roll for speed. Crit rate here just might be okay for a nuker early game. Again, I'm looking for speed roll, or I'm looking for like an accuracy main stat with speed roll. That would be great for immunity set. Not going to find too much. There's a speed roll potentially there. I want speed on the boots pretty much for anyone other than maybe my nuker that might want attack percent on the boots. This could be good. Defense percent with crit rate for a defensive nuker in immunity gear. So not many pieces kept. What's that? 7 out of 11. But again, it's more a late game set. I don't need to roll a ton of it now. But I will just roll and see if I get like multiple rolls of speed somewhere, especially on a legendary piece like this. Outside of speed rolls, this loses its value a lot. So if I'm not rolling at least like one speed rolling up to level 8, I won't put any more silver into it right now. Is the game actually rolling, or is it like trolling? Rolling or trolling? So I actually double rolled speed there. That could be good down the line. So that's okay. I tried to roll it to level 8. It rolled to level 14. Beautiful. Shield set. Shield set is another great set. This is a brilliant early game set. This is a great set if you always go second in the arena. One person in a pretty healthy shield set will win you a ton of fights. It will also help you get through a lot of dungeon content and Doom Tower content where you felt like you couldn't get through it. One person in a healthy shield set, it's like adding another 30% to your health. It's a lot. Yeah, so a shield set, it protects you for 30% of the wearer's HP. For 3 turns, it's a lot. What does that mean? You're like, well, how do I make this good? You need HP. Yeah, HP percent is king on a shield set. Because that's how you buff the rest of your team. So you want HP percent. Generally, it's probably someone who's just going to be like a support-based champion for you. So probably want speed as well to get through abilities that are support-based. It's probably someone who's going to be throwing buffs on your team, or maybe doing a bit of debuffing on the enemy team as well. So I generally look for speed, HP percent, accuracy, maybe defense percent as well as kind of like extra stats. But HP and speed are king. Even without speed here, for me on this account, this is a good piece that could roll multiple times into HP percent. HP percent again, Going to keep a couple of sets for shield. Speed here, it's not bad. We start to sell when we don't see those two coming along. We've actually got one helm that could be worth it. Speed and HP together. Beautiful. Dream come true. Good multi-roll speed. I'll keep it for now because I kind of want a couple of sets. Gloves and chests. Almost always, 100% of the time, they want to be HP percent main stat. Early game, you might say HP. There you go. Exactly the example. HP with speed. Yeah, because you still want to move quite quick. HP with speed. We've got a few chances to land speed rolls here. Chests, the same thing. Now, this is one of those anomalies where it's like, this isn't what I want for a shield set, but this could just be good for a damage dealer. So I'm going to roll that up to see if it rolls crit rate. Accuracy, unlikely you're going to need accuracy main stat for a shield set. You might say some examples of defense percent could be good just for like a tanky build, but the shield builds from HP percent. So I'd say it's very rare. This, though, could be good for a damage dealer in a defense-based build. So that's being kept as a separate piece. HP percent with an okay couple of substats. We'll keep it. Speed boots are still king here for this set. But also HP percent boots can be good. If you're just trying to build a massive shield and you don't really care about how fast they go, you keep those HP percenters. That's for like a damage set of boots. And there we go. So 20 gone. We're keeping what? 6, 10, 12. 12 out of 32 being kept. And we're going to roll some of these up now. So some of the more interesting ones then. So where we've got things like anyone where it's got speed and something else, I'm just going to roll and see if I land speed at level 4. If I don't, ship them on. Yeah. Didn't land it. Ship it on. It's no longer got value to me. HP percent and crit damage. Kind of similar to this, really. I want to see it roll the HP percent. And then ideally, I want to see it roll it again. Didn't roll it. It's just massively lost some value to me, that piece. So if we don't end up rolling any of these well, obviously we keep the best. Or perhaps we start rolling some into level 8 and see which ones do roll into a substat that we want. That one's rolled it, though. So instantly, the other one that didn't roll it is gone. See if we get it again. We did. And then we say, oh, raid gods, give us HP percent in that final spot. Or in the third spot. If it's another good substat, then we maybe take it to 16 and look for the HP percent at a later date. But you don't need to roll everything up to 16. That's just a generally decent-ish piece. This one here, we're trying to just roll that HP percent. I will take it to 8 because it's a legendary piece. We've got more chances to roll other substats that we want. You know, accuracy would be the other one that I really like here. So that's going to be a nice keeper. And that one I would take all the way up to 12 at least. And then we would sell this one earlier that just didn't really do anything for us. And we would sell this other one which didn't really land the way we wanted it to. We still got 2 good ones out of the ones that we've trialed. Have a quick look at a couple of these sets of gloves then. So the flat HP glove, it's only really adding a lot of value to me if I start making it quick. So I want to see speed roll. This is the worst it could have done. Look at that. Literally slapped me around the face with that. So that's not good. Bearing in mind the main stat is weak. It's okay, but it's kind of weak. So again, we now go to the level 4 set and say, can you do better? And he's like, yes, I can do better for you. Don't worry about that. And, you know, if we get a double roll in speed here, then even with accuracy as well, it's not bad, honestly. This piece, I feel like, adds a lot more value to the account than the other piece did if it rolls one of these top 2 again. Doesn't. Final roll's a bit sucky. It might go on like a shield set, faction war champion, something like that. This chest here, we were literally just keeping it to see if it was good for a damage dealer. Got to roll crit rate to make that happen. It has. Does it roll it again? If it does, we're starting to, you know, think, damn, good. If it rolls here, then it's just a kind of average piece. And that might go to somebody like a faction war champion. Now that we've invested a bit of silver into it, or it just goes. Defense percent, we want to see crit rate here. This is not for shield set. This is just for a damage dealer. So it can't really bad roll. And then, you know, it's a defense percent chest. So it's going to go on a defensive champion, but a damage dealer now. We want to see speed or accuracy or something like that here, which is going to just give it a bit more value. You know, another substat that adds value to someone that we're looking to do it with, that's not a good role there. So again, it will be used. It's like a decent enough chest to be used, but it's not great. Similar, this is basically the same as that chest we just seen. It's attack percent. Do we get a double roll and crit rate to make these boots useful for a damage dealer along the line? We don't. So it's probably not going to be used. These will probably eventually just be sold off. So we've got Relentless gear. I think it's pretty overvalued in the general game. There's not many champions where this is the best option. And you got to think to yourself, what are you going to use this gear set for? It could be for a damage dealer where you just want to cycle abilities as quick as you can. And if you get good RNG, that could be really good and really fun. But generally, a damage dealer in damage gear is straight up better than the chance to get another turn. So it's that or somebody like a Scylla the Drakes or a Doom Priest, someone who you want to rotate through their passive skills, like a passive heal. So in that case, you want high speed and then other substats which kind of go with them. The one thing with Relentless gear is you don't get it that often unless you're winning tournaments. And generally you probably are somebody who pays to play the game if you're winning tournaments, generally, and not always. So don't oversell on Relentless gear. Like, just keep some, because it might be that you just need that helm, which is kind of crap, to complete the 4-piece. You don't have a 4-piece set here, so don't oversell it. This is actually a nice set of boots, but equally, don't keep absolute dross. So Savage gear, one of the best gear sets in the game. One of the most important gear sets for a damage dealer in the game. Gets trumped by Lethal when you get killing Dark Fae, but it's, you know, Lethal's not easy to get. It's a damage set. You want crit rate, you want crit damage, you want attack percent, you want defense percent, you want attack percent. They're the main ones, actually, and combinations of those together. So I want to be looking for combinations. You know, speed and accuracy is not doing it for me in this set. Crit rate early on might be useful for me, but this is much better. Crit rate and crit damage together. Crit rate and attack percent together. That becomes a better potential piece for me. Not good enough. Crit rate on its own. Again, I'm early into my Savage gear development, so I'm going to keep it and see if I roll more crit rate. Crit rate and defense percent together. Yes, please. Useless, useless, useless. Crit rate with an HP percent. Could be okay for an HP based nuker like a Magnar. So again, we roll it to see if we get more crits. Not really good enough. I want to see one of the crit names in there. Okay. Gloves then. Basically, it's either crit damage or crit rate. Pretty much. Like, you will keep things like HP percent, defense percent. This is also a good one where you might say this is where my Chaos Ore could go. But to roll gloves with Chaos Ore is very, very risky because you've got to first roll a main stat that you want. And then wherever you get that massive roll, you want it to roll substats that you want as well. It's just very difficult to find what you need. So I'm looking really for crit rate, crit damage, or defense percent or HP percent. There's not a single pair of gloves there, even on this account with this small amount of gear, that's worth me keeping and rolling. Chests, because you don't find that much Savage gear that is good, you definitely want to keep attack percent chests, defense percent, HP percent. Ideally, you have things like crit rate and crit damage as substats, but beggars can't be choosers. Even on my main account, I keep 6-star attack percent chests with crappy substats because I just don't have the gear yet. I've been playing that account for years. So this is definitely a keeper. Accuracy, I can't think of many options where I'd be like, I want my accuracy debuffer to be landing damage. To be in Savage gear, sorry. So it just doesn't feel like it's really a worthwhile piece for this set. Attack percent, it's just nothing really useful there. Attack percent, crit rate, accuracy, yes please. And then we still want speed boots, but we're also keeping much more of defense percent with crit rate, attack percent with crit rate options. Speed with attack percent, yes, because I just don't have many. Yeah, okay, good. And again, for me right now, I don't really have enough Savage to make sense to push someone into a Savage set. So I'm not going to invest tons of silver into it now. I'm just going to keep it there, let it build, and then over time, once I get more, and I've got more 60s, I could start to specialize someone into an arena build. then that's when I'll start to build out my Savage gear. Destroy set, honestly, quite kind of niche. Only really use it for killing Scarab. And I've got, you see here, actually, I'm on Armiger. I've got a Destroy set right now. It's kind of weak. We've seen it. I've got no accuracy. So Destroy set, it just depends who you're going to put it on. But for someone like an Armiger, I need speed, crit rate, accuracy, defense percent. 4 stats. For other champions, you might need more. You might need a bit more crit damage or whatever. But pretty much I'm looking for those 4 stats in combinations. So I need to see two of those stats together to make it worthwhile for me to keep. Otherwise, it's just gone because it's not a good enough set to just fill up my inventory with. So we're looking for doubles, and currently I'm not finding anything. In gloves, it's pretty much crit rate or crit damage. Crit rate for an earlier game account like this. Crit damage when you can start to transfer out of it. Like this could be a good one to transfer into if I can find crit rate elsewhere. It also could just be a good one for a general nuker on this account, by the way. What's this here? Accuracy, chest might be needed. I don't have enough accuracy in this build right now, so this chest might actually be the chest to go on Armiger. Useless, useless. Attack percent with crit rate could just be good as a nuker's chest, not necessarily for destroy set. Not finding a lot. One set of 4-star speed boots. I'm already in 4-star speed boots. I don't need multiple people in destroy gear. So we're going to sell, what's that? 29 out of 32 gone. So look, I don't know if you're still with me. If you are, well done. It's a long video. I said it would be long. I'm hoping it's been useful. But if you like this sort of content and stuff that is less boring, then please subscribe to the channel, like the video, drop me a comment. Tell me all the stuff I'm doing badly. Stun set. Awesome control set for anyone that's doing AoE abilities. Yeah, so anyone who's doing multiple AoE abilities, every time they hit, they've got a chance to land an 18% stun. They don't need accuracy to do this. It literally just happens. So generally, it's either someone that you want to be fast and rotate through those stuns, or somebody that you want to do damage and stun at the same time. So Bellower, good example. You want him to have a high crit build, high damage build, pretty fast, but land stuns. Or you got somebody like a, I mean, you could run somebody like a Bellower again, but just without any damage, just fast and stuns. Stun city, and then you're taking a lot less damage. So really, I'm looking for combinations of things like crit rate, speed. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Crit rate, speed, crit damage. But plenty of speed really is kind of where I want to see this stat go, these sets go. I don't really have a good option for this set right now, like on my account. But for the future, we're just kind of getting ourselves ready for that. Crit damage set of gloves, if we find crit rate elsewhere, could be okay. Crit rate set of gloves, probably early game useful. I really want to see, you know, attack percent or defense percent or HP percent, or with speed substats. So retaliation gear and avenging gear, do them both together, kind of similar sets. Counter-attack when hit with a crit. This set is better for the arena because you're generally hit with crits all the time. This set is better for normal PvE content. And honestly, the only people I'd really use this on is like big AoE hitters like Skull Crowns that can't die, or people like a Vrask, especially for this in PvE content, where you're just trying to get heals away. So you're trying to get him to use his heal mechanic. There's not many champions though where I feel like this is good. And because of the type of people we're using it on there, it's a damage set, speed, crit damage, crit rate, attack percent, someone like a Vrask HP percent as well. So they're actually all okay pieces. Speed, accuracy, attack percent, that's actually okay. But we do want to find some crit rate alongside it. But again, I won't roll these because it's very niche. Okay, stalwart gear, really good gear actually. Great gear for clan boss. Nearly all the damage you take in clan boss is AoE attacks. This protects you from 30% of the damage you would take from AoEs. It's also actually really good to put on somebody like a, you know, somebody you want to be quite tanky that can just survive stuff. People that have got a low base defense, quite hard to keep alive. You just reduce the damage that they're going to take. So somebody like a Geomancer, Low base defense, hard to keep alive, does his damage through being hit. Stalwart keeps him alive for longer. Really good set for someone like him. Quite a good set in Clan Boss if you found a different way to heal instead of Lifesteal. So yeah, Stalwart gear, generally it's quite a tanky build. So speed, HP percent, defense percent are important. And then when you want to start being a bit more frivolous, you start looking for the attacking stats as well, like crit rate, crit damage. So I'm looking though for those main tanky build stats, predominantly speed, HP percent, accuracy. That's like a great combo there for someone like a Geo. Speed and accuracy is okay. For things like main stats, you might have a crit damage if you're going for a damage build, crit rate for a damage build, but more likely defense percent, HP percent for someone who's going to stay alive. Same sort of thing with chest, defense percent, HP percent. Generally, you might have attack percent if you're looking for a damage build. And speed on the boots for most people. You might have HP percent for people that you just want to stay alive. Reflex gear really gone up in my estimations over time. This is a really good gear set for enemy max HP nukers where you're trying to get back one main skill as often as you can. So this is a good set to keep good pieces in. Damage-based pieces generally. The things with like crit rate in them, crit damage, speed to rotate through your turns as quickly as you can. Again, we won't roll this. I don't need any on. I don't have anyone that I would use this on right now, apart from maybe an Armiger, but he gets his ability back so quick anyway that it's not that useful on him. But also things like champions that have got a really good heal-based mechanic on one ability that you're just trying to cycle back to, really useful. Curing set, I mean, I just really find it's fairly low value. There's some niche champions where they just have good passive healing, like Bodoff, Rectordraff, maybe someone like a Scylla the Drakes if you're using her as a healer, maybe a Doom Priest if you're using her as a healer, that can get some benefit. And almost all of those examples is just like tanky builds. HP percent, defense percent, speed. They're your kind of three main ones for curing set. I only keep it, honestly, if it's godlike because of how little I would use it. So if it's not an epic piece, I'm not interested. If it's not 5-star at least, I'm not interested. And I'm looking for good main stats on any of the bottom pieces. Also, you're always looking for, is it a piece that could be godlike outside of curing? So we've got Cruel Gear now, an awesome set, a straight upgrade to your attack-based set. Ignores defense, it's huge when you get into later game. But it's a two-piece set, it's also just good as filler gear for your damage dealers or for anyone really that's going to put some hits in. So because it's an attack-based set, attack percentage, crit rate, crit damage, speed are like your main four. You might want some accuracy in there as well for champions that are going to do stuff. So speed and crit damage, good. Beautiful. It's a shame this is only a 4-star piece, but look at that. Speed, crit rate, crit damage, HP percent. Love it. Another good one. Speed, attack percent, crit damage, yes. Yeah, so we've got some good pieces here. That's actually not bad as well. Beautiful. Looks like I've cleared most of this out already. That can go. It's not enough substats. Oh, I suppose I might triple roll crit rate, so we'll keep it to look at that. Crit damage, I don't have many. Not good enough. Pretty good. Maybe. And then, again, we don't have many versions of Cruel Set. It's hard to get until you get later game. And even then, like, I feel like I get it so rarely on my main account. It's insane. Like, good stuff. So, crit damage is a main stat on the gloves. I'm keeping those, even though they've got no substats. We're going to see what some substats we get. Got those, though. Not attack percent on gloves. HP percent I like. Often I'll run a damage dealer with HP percent chest if I'm trying to get them through things like dungeons. And we're just trying to roll a few of these pieces up. So I'm really looking... this. I mean, this can't roll badly. The worst roll would be HP percent. I want it to roll crit rate, crit damage, because it's a damage set. Speed's not a bad roll either. Crit rate, crit damage. Look at that. Maybe we'll roll crit rate again. And this becomes like a really good piece for, you know, future damage dealer. There you go. Look at that. So that one I would take up to level 16. In fact, we're going to do it right now because I've been building silver as we've been doing this video. And we're on an artifact event anyway. Because this might end up just being part of the new Gaelic build, honestly. If we get another crit rate or a crit damage in here, even aura speed, this is a really valuable piece to my account. Actually doing okay for silver here as well. You know, we're doing the events. Yeah, look at that. That's really nice. So really good piece. Really good piece. We'll use that down the line. Even as 4-star, we'll keep hold of that piece for a while. So let's have a look and see if we've got something to complement it here as a helm. Again, we're looking for those crit rate rolls. We're looking for high rolls rather than low rolls. Can't really bad roll here, though. So it can't really give us anything I don't want. This is probably as weak as it gets, but it's still not bad at all. Because, you know, attack percent is going to help us through those builds. Something like this chest, we want it to roll the speed and crit damage. Defense percent is not terrible in terms of just helping us stay alive, but it's a damage set. We don't really want the resistance rolls. I'll be honest with you, game. We don't really want the resistance rolls. Right then, we're on to Immortal Gear. Immortal Gear, straight up upgrade from Life Gear, which we sold most of. Immortal Gear is actually good. It gives you a cheeky heal every turn for a percentage of your HP. A bit like the Regen set. Higher health is better here. It's really nice for HP-based nukers to have a set of this on just to give them a top-up. It's really nice for people that you're trying to just keep alive just to give them a bit of a top-up. So you're looking for HP percent, speed to rotate through your turns. Might also want some crit rate in that in this set as well. Again, it's quite hard to get, so you're not going to sell. You're not going to sell it all off. You're going to keep pieces that could be half decent. So HP percent is good. Gloves, again, HP percent is where it's at, or crit rate, or crit damage. And for something like a chest, HP percent is where it's at, but you might also have a use for defense percent down the line at some point. So defense percent there is okay. I really would like it with speed as a substat. Accuracy is going to be a good substat here because most of the people that would use this have got land abilities as well. Speed with accuracy, if it had HP percent as well, that would be beautiful. It's not bad. Speed, HP, accuracy, again, it's okay. Gone. And that's probably my best set of boots. Speed with the HP percent, even though the other ones looked better on paper. So selling 10, keeping about the same, pretty 50-50 on that one. And again, like if we were looking to put this on someone, you know, I would actually be rolling stuff like this. I'd be like, right, do we land speed and or accuracy in the first 8 rolls to keep this set? This is actually a nice chest. And we'd be doing the same with gloves. And, you know, we'd be looking to see if we roll the substats we want in places like this. Like we really want to roll into speed on this type of piece for it to be valued. Attack percent is really not where it's at. And, you know, unless we roll speed here, that's basically probably going to go. That's a goner. That's another one on the pile. So I'll whiz through these. Divine crit rate. It's basically the same as crit rate set we saw above. You need at least 2 pieces to make it work. And you get these through the arena. You want crit rate, you want crit damage, you want speed, you want attack percent. Yeah, anything that's going to deal damage. Divine life, it's HP set. A bit, basically the same as what we just saw with Immortal is what you want here. Divine speed, you want speed. Yeah, substats of speed. I don't have any divine speed yet that's worth keeping. After what, like 10 weeks of playing the game on the free-to-play. Swift parry is a set from the Forge. It's a really great set, actually. Speed, crit damage. It actually can be used as either a damage dealer set or as a tanky stall set for arena. So you either go for substats like crit rate, crit damage, attack percent, or you go for substats like HP percent, defense percent, speed, like resistance, like you think items which will keep you alive. So it can be really versatile. I wouldn't advise you selling much of it until you've got a decent amount and then you start to do builds with it. So, you know, I'm not selling hardly any of my Swift Parry, even bits that look like they should be pretty weak. Resilience set is just like a straight tanky set, HP percent and defense percent. It's kind of early game, faction wars. You want more of the same, really. More HP, more defense, speed, accuracy. It's like the tanky guy that does a bit of debuffing on your team. So the final set I've got to show you here, and it is an absolute blinder to finish on. Shame if you didn't make it this far, but if you did, well done. So we've got Perception Gear. It's one of the best gear sets in the game, both from early game right through to extreme late game. 40 accuracy and speed in a set is just beautiful. So we want more of the same, more accuracy, more speed. They're the two stats. If you're looking at this earlier game, then you're going to want all of your basics as well. Crit rate, crit damage, speed, you know, all that type of stuff. But really, if you're thinking about what do I want to see, oh, there it is. There it is. Look at a piece that we've just got there. So we roll this up. It can't bad roll. This is definitely staying on my account. But I want to see, like, if this rolled quad accuracy for the video. Ah, man. Like, multiple rolls of accuracy, multiple rolls of speed is where we want this to go, because this is beautiful for someone who's going to debuff for your team. That person who's going out first, landing decreased defense, they need to be quick. They need to land their ability. For dams like that, oh yeah, I want more accuracy and I want more speed. So, you know, any rolls in those areas are just fantastic. This is rolled generally like just fine. It's fine. I would definitely glyph that up. It's a great piece. And that's pretty much what you're looking for. So, you know, HP percent and crit rate is not great. It's a 5-star piece, though, on an early game account. And I'm guaranteed 40 accuracy and 5% speed, even if all the substats are trash. Which means that you keep a lot more perception gear for general clan boss builds. You see, I'm keeping this one. I keep them all. They've all got speed on them. Faction War champions will eat this stuff up for breakfast. Speed and accuracy together, 3-star. I mean, 3 stars just kind of pushing it a bit too much. But yeah, I keep most of it. Then if I get a piece like this, even though it's 3-star, that's like a nice one to roll up. Beautiful. Looking for like a couple of good substats together, basically. Or speed or accuracy on its own is still fine. Gloves, HP percent, defense percent. Generally, these are not damage dealing sets. So you're looking for, mainly you're looking for the substats, speed and accuracy. Yeah, but for this type of account, I will keep any gloves with a good main stat. These gloves, believe it or not, could triple row accuracy and be end game quality gear. That's how good perception gear is. Speed there, so that might just be what I need to finish a build off. Speed on that. Accuracy with resistance chest. This is where we get bamboozled. What do we want here for an accuracy set? We actually want accuracy main stats with speed substats. Or you want HP percent, defense percent, you know, things that are going to keep you alive. But actually an accuracy main stat in perception gear is awesome. You pretty much want speed main stat boots. There's not many chances, but this is a good option for a different type of boot, but with 2 substats that we like. Speed with accuracy, that is potentially amazing. I've got, I mean, yeah, on my main account, obviously I'm mainly 6-star gear, but I do have some 5-star gear where it looks a bit like this, where it's a 5-star set of boots, speed, where it's triple rolled into accuracy, and I still use them on, you know, like high-end builds. So that's not, it's done 1 roll. That's still going to be one of my better items for, you know, a debuffer that I've got when I'm trying to get high levels of accuracy going. When we saw my Armager build earlier, I was lacking accuracy. Well, perception gear could be the bridge for that. So, you know, pieces like this, where it's like the main stat looks horrid, the other substats look okay. If this rolls triple into accuracy, it's a fantastic piece for my account. If it doesn't roll accuracy at all, it starts to become less and less useful, you know, the more frequently it doesn't roll into it. This piece could be a good kind of damage dealer piece where I need to land debuffs as well. The 40 accuracy is guaranteed. Crit rate coming in nice here. Speed as well. Oh, it's looking good. So perception gear generally is just keeper gear. Yeah, there's way more options where you would keep it than where you would get rid of it, especially early game. Whew, that was long. If you're still here, fantastic job. Well done. Damn. What a marathon. So there we go, guys. I mean, probably a couple of hours later, I actually sold about 65% of my items. And obviously, I've rolled a bunch more. I've got a lot of the artifact event done. Hopefully, that's helped you with different gear sets, what to look for, what to keep. But yeah, 65% of my gear trashed as a result of a gear cleanse. And you guys should be doing that probably once a month at least, like an in-depth gear cleanse to keep your account in good order. I've been Hell Hades, free to play. I will see you later.